What's up? What's up? So, man, something I want to talk about is something I see a lot on social media. Culture's way of thinking. It's a term that I always hear: elevation by separation, and a lot of times it gets the wrong connotation. Something that I want to bring to shed some light on. Like, all separation isn't necessarily due to um, bad. It's not bad. Sometimes separation is needed for the individuals to grow into the person that God has called them to be. And actually, the Bible has a great example of this. It's a story that it resonates with me so much because I went through a season of that. It would be the story of Abraham, well, at the time, Abram and Lot. Um, so when you read it, pretty much God had made a promise to Abram at the time, that he would have a child. And for those who know, Abram was like extremely old, so it's highly unlikely. His wife, her womb essentially was very barren. Um, and the thing with Abram had a lot going for him. He was, considered established pretty much. He was living in overflow. He had no reason to step out on what God called him to because, as far as material things, he had it all. He was with his family. He had the money. He had the land, the cattle. And another portion of this, when the Lord had called him out, he wanted to take Lot with him. Lot was a family member of his who he loved dearly. But the thing was, the Lord had told him to separate himself from his family. But it was one of those things like, man, you feel like you just gotta take somebody along for the ride, for your journey, for your path. But the reality is, they may not they may not be the ones or intentionally causing harm or delays, but the circumstances, and the environments or whatever may be hindering you both from flourishing individually. And honestly, let's be real. It's almost like you have to force that relationship, whether it's with family, with just being real, romantic, work, whatever it may be. And one of the things that stood out to me was that Abraham and Lot, it was pretty much said that they were so blessed that it wasn't even enough room for them. It wasn't even enough room in the land for them where they were occupied. And it could be some spaces to where it's not even that you may be beefing with somebody, beefing so to speak. It may not even be that you have an issue with the person. The thing is, it's just their call is great and your call is great. And you may want to go right. You may be being called to go right. They may be called to go left. And that's where like that friction happens. And the relationship ran its course. And there's nothing wrong with that, man. It don't mean that it was beef. It don't mean that you don't love them. It don't mean that you don't root for them. And one of the things was when Abraham was finally separated himself, he told Lot, hey, I'm going to allow you to choose where you want to go because I love you so much. And that's when Lot had went on and he set up shop where he did in Sodom and Gomorrah. And one of those things, you know what I'm saying, people, let me go back. One of the other reasons why they need to separate was because it was said that, again, Lot and Abraham loved each other. It was more contention with the people around them than they had themselves. And sometimes both of you could be occupying spaces to where your light irritate those around you. And when you are in those type of spaces, it can cause friction. I'm gonna just be real, and let's apply this to natural day content text. You could be in a relationship when both of you people are called by God. Both of you people are lights. Let's just be real, because light, Light attracts light. Let's just be real. Both of y'all are doing what y'all supposed to do. Both of y'all on y'all healing growth. But y'all just different. Y'all just different in your own ways. And your people may be like, hey, does it seem like, uh, you know, they're trying to outshine you when the reality is they're not. Or the reality is they see the best in you and they want to push you. And their people may be like, well, why are they, coming at you like that? But in private, you know for a fact that this person constantly has your back 100%, and they call you out when you're not showing up the way you're supposed to for yourself, and they just want you to rise your game up so you can fulfill your goals, and you both do that for each other. And when you're surrounded by people who aren't used to that, it makes them uncomfortable. So they're gonna come at you and be like, oh, I don't like that person. Or, and if you're not aware, if you're not mature, sometimes it could cause unnecessary rifts, and you wondering like, why am I even mad at the person that I'm with, or my friend or my life partner, to where it's like, what did you really do to me? And you both are asking that, and it draws up insecurities and all this other stuff. So you have to be mindful of who's in your ear, so you won't have that contention amongst you in your tribe, in your unit. So fast forward to what I was saying before that. So Lot he chose his plot pretty much, and he went into a space to where, it was a little, dicey as far as morals and all this stuff. It's like, morals be whatever. And Abraham actually had to come back for him. He not only came back for him, he took all of his men who didn't even have a relationship with him and leveraged his relationships to go and rescue Lot. And even in the midst of that, Lot and his wife had their contention to where she looked back and turned to the pillar of salt. It's kind of like, being resistant to change, and also holding on and looking back to what was. Even though your body may be out of a certain environment, your mind is still there. So it's something that, it wasn't never any beef with the two. And just to bring this back around into today's, context, if you love somebody, man, you love them. You can't help who you love. You can't help who you care about. The biggest thing, if you can help it, even though separation may occur, try to do it on good terms, because the last memory that you ever want to have with anyone that you know that you love and you know that they love you is an argument, or it's a fight, or it didn't end on the best terms. Like, if you can help it, and if they can, if you both are mature and grounded spiritually, relationally, and emotionally, you should be able to have those conversations to where you both could just separate on good terms. Because at the end of the day, I want to see you thrive, and hopefully you want to see me thrive. So with that said, as always, my name's John. Be great.